It's not every day that a game just lets you stumble into the end of the world and the final boss, and yet today that is exactly what happened to me in Unicorn Overlord. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and welcome back to the channel.
Unicorn Overlord.
Hello everyone. If you enjoy what I do, my coverage of Unicorn Overlord, strategy RPGs, or the gaming sphere in general, a like on this video and a subscription to the channel would help me out immensely and would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much. So, how was the last, not even 24 hours ago as of time of this recording? Phenomenally. Unicorn Overlord is here. I did an around 3-hour stream starting at 11 p.m. on the 7th. Went until 2-ish a.m. until I was falling asleep. Had to take a nap. And by take a nap, I mean like sleep. Get up, eat breakfast, stretch, do a little bit of a warm-up, and then get right back to streaming. And as such, we have played about 10 hours of the full release of Unicorn Overlord. Normally, this is where I would do a first impressions video, but I already did that for the demo, and thus far, we have only seen demo content in my time with the game, with one exception, which we're going to talk about here. First off, though, I do want to say that the full release of the game feels just as good to play as the demo version. I was wondering at first if it felt a little easier. We know that some changes were made to expert mode, as well, all the difficulty modes actually, to make them a little bit easier to play, according to Atlas. However, I came to the conclusion, and my chat seemed to agree, that it's really not that the game is any easier than it really was before. I just know it way better now. I played the demo 3 times and about another half of a time on top of that. So all the content that I'm seeing thus far is things that I've seen before, and I know how to tackle it. So that makes it way, way easier. I know how units work better, how to put tactics together, how different scenarios tend to play out, how to use my items, my valor skills, all that type of good stuff. It's been an absolute blast. 7 hours flew right by, and we are now nearly done with the demo content. I have the northern end of Cornea to deal with, the Rescue Scarlet mission, and then it's going to be on to new pastures, and I'm very, very excited to see what comes up. We created a bunch of patron characters, which was really fun as well. We don't have them all yet, but we're getting there. Working on getting all of my units up to 4 members at the moment. We have a lot of thieves. 4 thieves thus far. A knight, a witch, some other fun stuff. We're working on cell swords. We actually have 1 cell sword already. Have to get a bunch of sword fighters. It's been very, very enjoyable getting people in on the campaign, and I can't wait to have everyone there and see who else might join us along the way. If you're interested, you can check out my Patreon in the description, by the way, where you can sign up to have a character made for you that we will then use throughout the entire campaign. Priority goes to patron characters as well. Like, if we have more patron characters than like unique characters are going to get tossed out of the party, and they're going to be patron characters. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, I've had an absolute blast, but really the thing that I wanted to talk about the most is a little bit of something that happened, and I guess spoiler warnings if you don't want to know anything about what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of this video. It's not, I don't think it's, how do I say this, real? I don't think it's how things are really going to wind up playing out by the end of the game, put it that way. But I think I stumbled across an ending, the bad end, potentially, of the game. And we're going to talk about that. So click away now, forever hold your peace. If you don't want to know, I'm going to be showing footage and everything from it here. It was pretty wild, but it's not something I like glitched into or anything. It's absolutely something that you're allowed to do. So yeah, click away now, forever hold your peace. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you know those bridges that you can repair in the demo and now in the full release of the game, but you needed like 30 Corsite stone to be able to do it? And as far as I know, no one was able to find a way to do it in the demo, or no one tried to. No one seemed to talk about it. Well, I did it. Accidentally. I just happened upon enough of the materials to repair the bridge. I was like, well, all right. I mean, I can repair the bridge. That's fine. I'll just not fight any enemies. I'll run across the bridge, see if I can't like find some cool resources, weapons, items, stuff like that. Maybe a weird side quest as a reward for getting across the bridge, whatever. So I repaired it, and immediately a quest popped up at level 40, just titled Unicorn Overlord. Okay, this is a thing. Like, well, all right. I mean, I don't have to take the quest. Like, I'm just going to run across the bridge. No, running across the bridge triggers the quest. Like, well, we saved before we did this, so I guess let's see what this is about. Cue the end of the world. Think like Bravely Default breaking one of the crystals kind of thing, if you know that deep cut. People being murdered in the streets. Elaine giving a dramatic speech about like how we finally reached the end after all this time. Characters giving their final words. Black miasma, purple miasma spreading over the city. Like discussion of like gates to the beyond and like the summoning of heroes and or villains, I guess, champions, and like Scarlet was there, but she wasn't Scarlet. Her name wasn't Scarlet, and she was just having people murdered in the street because they weren't vessels. They weren't worthy vessels. Like, what is happening? Really gave us some insight into what is potentially waiting down the line for if you do things properly. Now, I was not able to proceed. I didn't even bother trying because all of the enemies were level 40. Like, this was literally the end of the game, or an end of the game, I would assume. And my characters were like 7 to 10. There was literally no shot. No way in hell. But we did get some interesting looks at some very powerful endgame looking units. In particular, we saw a bunch of the feather units. We'd seen the feather bow and the feather sword before, but now we got proper looks at the feather shield and the feather staff, the tank and cleric / healer varieties. And they were terrifying. Like, the feather shield can, like, just jump in the way of allies and gain 2 PP for his actions, and can just, like, reflect spells back at people and just remove any debuffs you put on him and put them back on you. Like, really, really scary stuff, and is really tanky on top of it. The feather staff just has like free resurrections and insane nonsense like that, massive heals, other effects. It was spooky, and like we saw some crazy endgame equipment too. We saw the 4 general champion things, whatever the hell they were, the avatars of Galerius, I don't know, with like abyssal gear. Like, we're talking like ogre blade, ogre battle, tactics ogre level stuff that has come from the abyss, apparently, that just has some insanely powerful effects. The one champion had an attack that was literally just like then perish. Just, if this attack hits you, it was a passive point ability, so just triggers at the end of a fight, and if it hits an enemy that has 50% HP or less, they just die. They're just gone. They're just snapped out of existence. Absolute madness. Terrifying stuff. Like, I was, like, short of breath looking at all of these enemies. And apparently we had to, like, defeat all 4 of them to clear the smog from the city. Because everyone was like, well, the fog has something to do with the mind control effect, so we can't walk into it or we'll all be, like, enslaved or whatever. It's like, bro, we could throw every unit we have at one of these guys, and we won't leave a scratch in their armor. And you want me to try and take out all 4? Are you insane? My chat was freaking out, obviously. There's a gentleman who had access to a review copy of the game for his work, who was losing his mind because he had never seen specifically what was happening with me, where Scarlet was there. He was like, I've never seen this before. Someone else was there when I did this. That's terrifying. Like, what the hell? What does this mean? A lot of people were theorizing that this is a clear indicator that there's going to be multiple endings, all sorts of wild stuff. I was floored. I was just absolutely floored. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was super cool. And it gave us some good shots of what some endgame content combat is going to look like. So for those of you out there who are keeping track of abilities and classes and everything, I mean, take what you want from this footage. and like go in, get your 30 core site, repair the bridge, just go in and just look around the map, check stuff out. One of the other hints as to potential story events is we actually saw that the Bestrels of Bastorius were controlled or hired or something to work for the enemy here, and like marching on the capital. So I can only assume that part of the game is going to be going through and like liberating the other countries to reduce the level of force that Emperor Galerius has that he can bring to bear against you, maybe either in like the final campaign missions or the final fight. I don't know, something like that. Because like they wouldn't be marching for no reason, that's for damn sure. And we even saw amongst their number a few of the characters that we know we can recruit, that we know are NPCs, etc., that we've seen from the pre-release material. So it was a very interesting glimpse, a very interesting what-if scenario. And I can only imagine trying to win that scenario, like at the level that we're at the point at which you would be able to go in. So very fun stuff. I'm sure someone's going to do it sooner rather than later. And I'm talking a lot of like theoretical guessing things, theorizing based off of things we saw here. I know people have already beaten the game. All right. I know people are breaking the game open right now. I don't want to hear any of it. I don't want to hear any answers to any of my questions. Like idle theorizing because you're just seeing this for the first time like me, that's fine. But if you know anything, I don't want to see it in the comments. I will absolutely ban you forever from this channel if you spoil anything about this game for me or for anyone else in the comments. But I wanted to talk about this in particular that we saw on stream today because it was insane. It just, my mind is reeling. I can't wait to see what else goes on in Unicorn Overlord. It's going to be wild. I'm going to be streaming every day for the next 4 or 5 days, and then after that, we'll still be pumping out content like crazy. I just have off work for the next few days, so look forward to that. Thank you to everyone who came by the stream today, everyone who's signed up as patrons, all that type of stuff. And also, it is Friday, so it's only appropriate that I segue here into thanking my channel supporters. From my YouTube members, thank you to Canadian Animator Guy, Tojo Jr., Luxor, Tenshi, Matthew Berry, King Tony, John Eaton, Captain Planet, Light B, Midday Moonlight, Matthew Snyder, RJD, Michael Poole, Dre, X13, Segno, The Game Reaper, Lost Knight, Super Blue, and Joshua. Thank you all so much. I do very much appreciate it. And thank you as well to, from my Patreon, Caffeine System, 18C, Navi, Kejo, Christian Soto, Chris Muller, Yoking Haddock, Riley Thatcher, Firestorm 447, Stella Stallion, Faytail, Connor B, Jonathan Conley, Tefmon, Ryok Olivier, Darius, Zachary Tincher, Light B, Keegan Stinson, Abigail, Gryffindor, Tagian, True Mayhem, Scott Goodrich, Jim Hamilton, Rockrug, Lightning Fang, Holly, Ashbourne, X13, Greg Reinhardt, and Vincent Gerbaki. Thank you all so much. We talked today on stream about how my goal for this channel is to grow it to the point that I can have Jane, my girlfriend, my partner, who I've been together with and living with for years and years, the absolute love of my life. I want this channel to be big enough that she can quit her job. She's good at her job, but you know, she doesn't enjoy it. It's not something that she wants to be doing with her life. And I want to be able to support her while she pursues whatever it is that she decides she wants to do as a career or as something that she can survive off of, like her cosplay commissions, her wig commissions, things like that, because she deserves it. And I want to be able to do that for her. So the support that you guys provide me and the channel is a very big stepping stone on that path. I really cannot thank you all enough. It means the world, especially all the support that everyone's been showing in the lead up to and now since the release of Unicorn Overlord. Y'all are the best. I'm going to keep doing my best for you to make this channel a great place and this community a great place for everybody. With that said, though, I'm going to wrap this one up here. My name has been Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman. Look out for guides, look out for news, look out for gameplay streams, look out for all of it. There's going to be a ton of stuff to cover around here, and I cannot wait to get to it. But for now, I'm going to rest up a little bit. I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other, everybody. Bye now.